Takehiko said very seriously, "That's because I didn't know enough about the Su family. But now, through the Matsumoto family's affairs, I can see through the Su family's behavior. The Su family is too hostile and has no bottom line. Even the underage children are not spared. To cooperate with this kind of family is to seek the skin of the tiger." Emmy looked terrified, and suddenly said, "What my brother said makes sense. The Su family's actions are indeed too cruel." As she said, Emmy suddenly remembered something and hurriedly said, "Brother, I heard that another family in China ranked second only to the Su family seems to want to get involved in ocean shipping. They have been competing with the Su family for many years. Similar to our situation with the Takahashi family over the years, if conditions are right, we can cooperate with the Wade family." Takehiko Ito shook his head and said, "Forget it, the Su family and the Wade family are both very strong. In recent years, China's economic development has been advancing by leaps and bounds. The strength of these two families has also far surpassed other families in Asia, whether it is the Su family or the Wade family. We are far from their opponents. To cooperate with the Su family is to seek skin with the tiger, and to cooperate with the Wade family is to completely offend the tiger of the Su family. In my opinion, we still should not put ourselves in such a dangerous situation." Speaking of this, Takehiko pondered for a moment and said seriously, "In this way, starting from today, the Ito family will terminate all cooperation with foreign families, and will not accept any invitation for cooperation. We have been working hard in the Japanese domestic market during this time. Let's try our best, dig deep holes, and accumulate food. When our strength is equal to or similar to that of Wade and Su, then consider cooperating with them." After hearing Takehiko's words, Charlie looked at him with a little admiration. It seems that Takehiko does have a good overall view, and he can control his inner greed, not to be greedy or aggressive. If you change to a very ambitious and greedy family, then you will immediately start to play high and play both ways. On the one hand, it completely suppresses other families in the country, strives to eat their share in a short time, and makes oneself a fat man. On the one hand, we must cooperate with large overseas families as soon as possible to further open up profit channels and develop ourselves rapidly. However, Takehiko Ito can clearly see the situation and the hidden dangers and hidden pitfalls. There is no doubt that the Su family is indeed the tiger wolf family. Such a family not only has no morals, but also has no basic humanity. When cooperating with such a family, you must be on guard at all times, otherwise it is very likely that the opponent will be severely stabbed behind you. And if you fall to the Su family's competitors, it is equivalent to directly standing on the opposite side of the Su family, and the risk factor is even greater. Instead of doing this, it is better to close the door and try to develop yourself." Emmy also understood her brother's worries and vision, and said seriously, "Brother, you are right. I am too dull to see this level." Takehiko waved his hand. "Your thoughts are also normal. Starting a business is like a gamble. Either simply keep betting a little bit more, or you can have an unparalleled future, or after you reserve a certain amount of chips, learn to see and close." Speaking of this, Takehiko sighed. "If it were before tonight, I might also be the same as you thought. I would take this opportunity to give him a big shot. However, I walked through the gate and lost both. After the legs, I finally know the preciousness of life and the meaning of being alive, and after knowing that I almost lost Nanako, I became more aware of this. So, I want to be more cautious now, and being steady is more important than anything else." Emmy nodded seriously. At this time, Takehiko Ito glanced at Nanako, and said seriously, "Nanako, since you are now cured, from now on, stay in Tokyo with Oda-san." Nanako hesitated slightly. She likes the environment of Kyoto, and she is reluctant to leave Kyoto. However, thinking of the special situation now that she can no longer follow her own preferences, she immediately said, "Okay Oda-san, I will stay with you." Takehiko said, "Let you stay in Tokyo not only to allow you to accompany me, but also to let you get in touch with the family's business and industry earlier and start preparing for succession. Nanako hurriedly said, "Oda-san, I have no experience in running a business. Isn't it too early?" Takehiko nodded and said seriously, "It is indeed a little earlier, but now the situation is special, my legs are gone, and it will be more inconvenient to move in the future." Speaking of this, Takehiko sighed a little lonely. "Moreover, I am a disabled person, and I am not suitable for showing up on behalf of the family, which will affect the family image. So, you must be ready to take my seat now. At the very least, you must first assume the external image of the Ito family. Later, on the outside, you will represent the Ito family."